Alright, something a little different here today. I recently put this engine on this mini bike here, and I had to make a few modifications to make it fit. And one of them was this air filter, and I wasn't able to use this air filter because this lid was hitting the frame rail down here. So to remedy that, I just cut out a little notch out of the air cleaner, which is okay because you have holes over here, and I was just going to leave that. And I'm selling the thing, and if somebody wanted to, they could put tape on that, or I don't know, do whatever they wanted to do with that. So I really wasn't too concerned about it. But then I still had the old piece that I cut out there, and I decided that maybe I'll just try and enclose that and make it look a little better. So let me put you on a tripod and show you what I decided to do. Alright, here's the game plan. Oh, let me grab a seat here. It gets comfortable. Alright, I still had the old piece that I cut off, and that was here. And what I'm thinking I could do here is actually flip it over like this. Stick it down like that, and it looks like it would shape nice. You know, it has little inclines here. Well, I would cut this down a little flush to this, because I had to come down on a little bit of an angle, because that's the way, you know, the shape is on, or the frame was on an angle there. And what I did was, I bought this little kit from Amazon. When I used to weld this stuff together, I used to use a soldering iron, and I even had a little paddle on the front of the soldering iron to do all this stuff. And I always wanted to get one of these kits for something that I really needed to do right. And I actually bought this kit. It's funny how they put the stuff in here. This all came with this one kit. And you'd think the gun and everything would be set a certain way and everything, but it's just thrown in here. You gotta love them Chinamen. But anyway, I bought this. This kit is one of the more expensive ones. You can actually get these if you just want the gun for about $15 or so. But this one here cost me about $42. And I went that route only because it came with these pieces of plastic. Because there's so many different kinds of plastic. You know, these are all rigid plastic and everything, and you even got a twisty kind here. So yeah, there's thousands of kind of plastic. But that's one of the reasons I got this. And also included with this kit was a pair of Chinese side cutters. And look at everything's all written in Chinese and everything. It's pretty cool. But they look like they're pretty substantial, you know. I mean, you put the name Craftsman on there and you wouldn't know the difference. Matter of fact, even Craftsman, I just bought a pair of these recently, and Craftsman were still made in China. But anyway, this kit comes with a good set of side cutters here, a little razor knife, I don't know if it's plastic or metal, but it's chrome. But anyway, came with that, came with the gun. And this is a big gun. This is 150 watts. You know, you can get them 50 watts, 60, 75, but I figure I'd get with the big one because you don't know what you're going to deal with. Maybe a bumper or something, plastic bumper. And there's another reason I got it, because it has all these little, they call them staples, of all different shapes and sizes. I guess the one you use most is this zigzag one. See what open that for you. Can't open it. I'm going to bust it open like that, right? Just to show you guys. I'm going to try to take one out, but you know, 20 of them are going to come. But you see that little zigzag thing? That goes in the end of your little machine here. And then you squeeze the trigger and it heats up, and this actually melts into something to reinforce it. And like I say, I'm probably not going to need these for this, but that's another reason why I bought this, because it comes with a good array of these, and you won't get that with a cheaper kit. But it also comes with these little smearing paddles. You know, you heat this plastic up and it'll melt all this stuff together. Came with 2 of them, and came with 2 of these. I don't know what they are, but we got them anyway. They're like foam. Oh, you know what? I think that might be sandpaper. Huh? Interesting. And this aluminum, bendable aluminum, and also this is good too. And they give you plenty of everything. This is screen to reinforce it. You know, sometimes you need to reinforce a piece before you melt it in. So it comes with all that. But it's funny how they just took everything and just threw it in this box here instead of having little sections off. But that's okay. And this is your instructions. Not much of an instruction manual, but and it's written in Chinglish. If you know what I mean. You know. They call these nails, and they call it planting the nails and the filler and all that, and it's tough to read, but you really don't need instructions for this. But anyway, that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to melt this together and make it look good, and we'll go from there and see what we come out with. But I'll put a link in the description for this kit. But like I say, you don't have to go for the $42 one. They got other ones as cheap as 15 bucks. So, alright, let me clean this garbage out of the way, and we'll try and fit that in there and see what we can do. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we'll try and cut these titties off here. This is pretty hard plastic here. Always cut away from me, remember that. Alright, it wasn't too bad. Alright, I'm going to save these little pieces in case I got to use them. That's the best thing to do is when you're welding plastic is weld it with the same kind of stuff that you took off, right? Oh. That's better, that's right, that's good right there. Alright, let's see if we can tack that in place. I got this blade put on like that because if I had it the other way, then, you know, the handle of the machine will get in the way here. So if I hold it upside down like this, it should be okay. Alright, let's tack it in place. Alright, I didn't know if we were working there. Alright, it's starting to melt now. And if you're wondering, it does stink. Alright, that should hold it for what we need. Trying to set my tabletop on fire here. Huh. Wow. Yeah. Even in the back you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Big blobs of plastic that holding it together. Well, let's see if I can get a tack in the back here. Got my head right over the smoke there. That's got to be good for you, huh? Okay. That worked pretty good. You hold it in place while it hardens. While it cools, I should say. Okay, I'm going to hold that and let it cool, and we'll turn these back on after it's cool. Shouldn't take too long. Don't go away. Alright, I tried some of this 1/8" polypropylene on this corner here. I mean, even though it was stable already, I tried it over there and that melted pretty good. And it looks like we'll be able to trim it up nice. But I flipped this around so you get more control over it, because when it was upside down, yeah, it's just an awkward position. So, all right, I sort of got a little hole to fill here, and I got to lower this end down. So, let's. What I'm doing is I'm working off the edge here. You can't see my hands, but I got the gun off the edge of the table, and I'll leave this here so you guys can see that. But you get a lot more control over it. Plus I can rest my hand on a table here, and gives me a little more stability. Alright, she's starting to melt. Yeah, once it gets up to temperature, it really melts this stuff good. I guess it's like anything, the more you try, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Trying to keep it as level as possible. I'm trying to pull some of this stuff over this way here, because this is where the hole is. I don't know if I'm still in frame, but it's like spreading peanut butter. Okay, I like that. Alright, now what I'm going to do is put the gun down here so we don't light that on fire. And I'm going to cut this edge down. And when I cut this originally, I used a Dremel, you know, with a cutting thing, with a cutting wheel on there. But I think I'm gonna use a hacksaw, because you got a little more control over it, and the Dremel was actually melting the stuff. Although it worked good. We'll see. Let's get the hacksaw, the air hacksaw, and see what that does. Yeah, I'm liking that, and it's strong. You know, you're not ripping that out of there. Look, you see me flexing it, but it sides aren't breaking. Alright, let me get the little hacksaw out. I might even do that by hand. I don't know, let me see. It shouldn't take much to cut that. Alright, that worked out good. I actually tried with the hand hacksaw at first, and it was working, but I have more control over this air one. Put some tape down. Even though I didn't, you're not going to see this, but this is how you learn. So when you do something that really makes a difference, or has to be done right, you know how to do it. So that made a nice little thing there. Alright, I like that. Let's see what we can do with that edge. Now, what happened to the piece I cut out of there? Can you guys see that? Alright, let me find that. How did something like that disappear? Oh, here it is on the floor. Ay, ay, ay. Road King. Alright, you see I could actually use this piece here for the top as a filler. Alright, this is working out pretty good. Alright, yeah, well, you guys were away. I've been thinking around with this a little bit to see which one of these plastics would be most compatible. You know, first I tried the polypropylene, this stuff here, and that worked. And I actually did it on the bottom here. And I put it in there, and I welded it from side to side there, and I left a gap underneath so I could stick this underneath it and see if I could pry it off and see which one's adhered the best and melted together with the original plastic here. And I tried all of them. I tried ABS, and I tried TEO or TPE, whatever that is. And then what's this other one here? Polycarbonate. And anyway, I tried them all. And then even some nylon ties. And it turns out that the nylon ties melt together the best. And if you try, you can actually pry that off. There you go, you see it? I mean, it sticks, but if you want to get that off, you can. So the best thing to do is, if you can, use whatever plastic is made out of. If you can cut some off and use that somehow. You know, maybe with a bumper or something like that, you have a part you can't see. But anyway, this does stick, and you do have to pry it off to get it out. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the nylon ties. I had a couple different kinds here. I think I got them from Public Service or the gas company or somebody. And even these regular ones. I think they call them nylon. I even tried Delrin. I cut off a sliver of that and made some little pieces. And that stuff, wooded stuff, is that don't melt very easy. So that's out of the question. So that's where we're at. We're going to weld the back of it, and that'll give it support. Even though you don't need it. I mean, this thing is solid as can be. And then we'll put this piece in here and melt that in there and see what it looks like. I also went from, this is 150 watt, and there's my soldering gun. I put the paddle on there. and this is a 3¼ watt, 325 watt. So it's like twice the horsepower. Not that this wasn't good, this was working. And it actually, since the point here is skinnier, it was actually getting into the crevasse there a little tighter. So if I wanted to, I could sharpen this one down. But I'm not worried about that, because I know that'll be okay the way I'm doing it. So I could use this for flattening stuff. Like I say, it heats up a lot better. And this one here for putting the staples in the front here. So I'm glad I got that. So that's where we're at now. We're going to try and support the back here, and then just try and flatten this out a little bit, and then put this piece in. So, alright, I'm going in and have some dinner, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Alright, here's what we did. We chipped out all the plastic rod, you know, because like I say, it was sticking, but if you wanted to get it off, it would get it off. And what I did is I made a thin tip, a real thin tip from my soldering gun here, out of a piece of welding rod. And that seemed to work pretty good. I actually just melted it to itself. I got this in there and just sort of shimmied it like this, shaked it and shimmied it as we came out. And it actually almost looks like a weld. But anyway, that's that ain't coming apart. That ain't coming apart now. So now we'll see what we can do about sealing the top end here. Also, I filed down the corner here that was done, and filed down nice. It looks okay, so it's going to look okay when we get done. Alright, let me do that. Alright, let me show you what I'm doing here. You guys in frame? What I'm doing is got a flat point on here, and what I'm doing is I'm going. I should have heated this up for you first, huh? Oh, there you go. This thing's heating up pretty good. And I'm just going across here and pushing both sides in. So you're getting good fusion. Is that a word? Oh, I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, and that's welding it together. And then I'm just going back. And smoothing it out. And that seems to be working. Okay, so it actually is pretty good. So I'm going to let that cool, and then we'll hit that with a file and see what it looks like. Alright, I got me a razor blade here and some files, and it melted down pretty good. I like that. And what I'm going to do is, you can get the excess off with the razor blade here. And then you can actually get a file. I got a little file here. Because this has all rounded edges on it. And this is probably better than sandpaper. So let me dig around with this a little bit, and then we'll turn these on and see what it looks like. And before we do that, the top piece there. So we'll get the bottom looking good, and then we'll go for the top piece. Alright, I'm happy with it. I welded it or melted it all together around here and everything, and I had enough little pieces left over that I didn't have to use anything else but the material that this was made of. and it ain't going nowhere. I mean, that's as good as the rest of the piece here. And filed it down and sanded it down. And if it was painted, you wouldn't know the difference. You'd think that's the way it was made. I think it was factory. Matter of fact, I got a little water here. That might help. Yeah, if you wanted to and spray paint this, you would you'd never know that wasn't factory. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. And you know what? I showed you guys this gun, and a lot of you don't know what the staples are. Let me get this out of the way. These are, you know what? Let me get this because the top of this is black. Maybe you can see it better. But these are little staples. They're like little zigzags. I don't know how well you can see that. I'll put it up here so maybe you can see it better. But they got little prongs sticking out, and they're little zigzags. And you stick that in this little machine here. You see that? And I got some broken plastic over here that one of my soldering guns was in. So let me show you what this is meant to do. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a pretty bad break in here. This is pretty thin, so I don't know how it's going to work. I haven't tried it. So you want to get your pieces all together. And I got a hunk of steel here. We're going to stick it on there. And you guys probably can't see it from there, but the crack goes like right here. And this is designed to stick it on that crack right there, and it'll melt that together and reinforce everything. So let's try this. It says squeeze it for 5 seconds, and you can actually see it steaming up. So let's try this here. Okay. See how it works? And then they give you the little cutters. And you just cut the little tits off here. Oh, don't know where that went. Wow. Boy, that went over the other side of the garage there. And then you could actually take that plastic stick and melt over that. Let's try this again. I don't want to touch that tip because I know it's hot as hell. There we go. Actually, it's not hot at all. Interesting. Alright. You guys still with us here? Put another one right here. Squeeze it. 5 seconds. Stick it down. And there you go. It's about as strong as you're going to get it. Better than new. I'm going to aim this down so I don't have to look for that. I'll find out with one of my tires. Alright, so there you go. Yeah, I definitely recommend getting one of these. Like I say, you can get them I think for as low as $12 to $15 just for the gun. But I bought the whole little case there because it had all the, you know, accoutrements. So like I said, I'll put a link in the description, and that'll take you to Amazon, and guys, pick up one. Alright, what do you guys say? Enough of that? Alright. See you in the next one. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, since I had the gun out and the staples out, and this was broke, I figured I might as well fix it, right? So it just took 8 staples, and this thing is as good as new. There's no need to smear it out with any kind of plastic and everything. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to make this thing so it wasn't break into a million parts, right? All right, let's get out of here.